Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Om Shanti and greetings. I am under the impression that most of you are regulars for this talk here from Bradford in a space. My name is Manda. I suppose you know that because you've seen the leaflet of some sort. And I just wanted to welcome you all here on a Saturday afternoon and giving your time to learn about deeper aspects of spirituality. I see some familiar faces, so I expect you know me. I may not see you, but if you are sitting still and focus, then please feel free to switch on your camera. So I'm not just speaking to these black boxes with names on them, but I can see your faces as well. As I mentioned, I've been with the Brahma Kumaris for 41 years, and it's always a pleasure to meet any group of people and to share some deeper spiritual learnings that have happened for me in my life during this period. And to be quite honest, the reality is, I think that without spirituality, life, this day and age, is not always so easy. So actually, if the main host can allow people to put their camera on, I would like to be able to see their faces. As I said, if they're sitting still and focused, so we can feel that we're in a room together, instead of me sitting by myself in a room and all of you sitting in your own spaces where you are. If you're doing something else, then that's okay. Recording, you can still record, even if you're live streaming, you can still put on people's camera, I believe that's the case. Anyway, let's just be focused for a few minutes and be present here in this space, in this time. Thank you, Janet. It's great to see you. Be focused. So just allow yourself to be comfortable. Observing your breath and just sitting still, first of all. Stillness is a powerful method to create an inner awareness. The awareness of this deep, silent, eternal presence. The self that is beyond name, form, color, and texture. Yet we all know that the self, this pure divine energy, exists. I'm not this name, this personality, but this living force, this energy that is behind the personality. Thank you. Life, the universe, the space that we occupy on this planet is governed by this notion that we call time. And when we are not aware, or when we are not conscious and deliberate about this awareness of the self is this conscient living energy, the energy that always exists. When we are identified with our own shape and form and physical sense of identity, then we make time a finite thing. It's as if this is an hour, this is half an hour, or this is half a day, or a day. And time becomes confined by our own limited consciousness. And yet we know that time is an eternal thing, in the sense that that which was, or that which is present, was the future 5 minutes ago, and now this present is going to become past. So it's not that this present remains the present. We know that it doesn't, because we know that the present becomes the past. And we also know that the future that is to come is going to be the present, and it's going to become the past. And the fascinating thing for me is that this confinement or limitation of time only exists in our own minds and in our own hearts. You know, they say that, scientists say that we live 95% of the time, we live in the past. And you think, really? I don't live in the past. I live here in the present. You might be here physically in the present, but when your unconscious responses and interactions are based on the experiences of the past, then even though I'm living in the present, I'm actually acting from the past. So many times we respond to situations or react to situations because we experienced situations in a certain way in the past. And those experiences have left a very deep impact and impression on our psyche, on our soul, on our mind, or on our heart, whatever. And somehow we armor ourselves up on the basis of these past experiences. And when we are informing our present situation on that basis, then I'm living in the past. When my personality becomes formed by certain types of experiences, and I'm living that personality, then again, I am living from the past. And yet, I also know that what has happened in the past is finished. It's gone. It's not in the present. And technically, it's not going to come back. Not in the same way, not in the same scenario. And yet, I have the feeling that the same things are happening to me, which is an interesting thing, because my sense is that the more I think about the situations of the past, the more I hold on to the situations of the past, the more I recreate situations in the present time. In the sense, it may not be the exact scenario, but the scenarios that I create are similar. And how does that work? My sense is that it works like that because there's a certain lesson that I have to learn in the situations that I find myself in. And if I don't learn those lessons, then I will recreate situations, or life will recreate situations to point me towards that direction of learning that lesson until I learn that lesson. One of the most powerful things that I've learned on my spiritual journey is that past is finished. And to allow myself, or I consciously and deliberately, well, it seems like it's not in my control, but actually any thought that I have, any feeling that I have, I am the generator of that thought and that feeling, no matter how unconscious that thought might be. So it's first of all taking responsibility of that aspect of my thought. I am responsible for my thoughts, my feelings, and my behavior. So when I do that, when I recognize, then I realize that actually I am generating the same situations for myself. So the spiritual law that says that which is past is finished. It's a powerful spiritual law. And I must let go of that situation, learn the lesson and move on from that situation in my mind and in my heart, so that I can make space for something new. The present is offering me something different, and yet I am so preoccupied in thinking about the past. Then I am actually not seeing the opportunity that's right before my eyes, right in front of me, and taking from the present situation. So when I'm so wrapped up in that past, I'm actually breaking a fundamental spiritual law of life. Past finishes and it moves on. And when I do that, then I create space for something else in the present moment in time. And I create opportunities for myself to learn something new and do something new and create something different for myself. And yet we seem to think and feel that our past holds us back. We generally take a lot of sorrow from things that go wrong. I was listening to something and I was hearing apparently a research that shows that our tendency seems to be that we remember moments of pain and sorrow much more readily. And because we remember those, because when we're experiencing sorrow or pain, it kind of viscerally has an effect on our body. And the chemicals and adrenaline that becomes present in our body actually makes sorrow present so strongly. Yet experiences of happiness and joy, they become fleeting because we experience them and they just move on very quickly. So I was hearing that if I want to experience happiness and joy in my life, then what I have to do, that every time I experience happiness, let me notice it. Let me observe it. And let me take just a minute to allow that experience of happiness to make home inside my body too. Just like the experiences of sorrow and pain become so strong that they, even without my conscious wish, they become embedded in my physical body. So experiences of happiness, I have to endeavor to do that. So what does it really mean to let go of our past? you might say, we have this expression, forgive and forget. And I realized that in the beginning, I would say, I can make conscious effort to forgive, but it's not so easy for me to forget. I used to say that. And what I found is that, yeah, when I'm willingly able to make a decision and say, I forgive a situation, often we think that we have to forget other people who are part of that situation, who caused sorrow. But ultimately, I use those situations to cause myself sorrow. And that's a big one to come to terms with. That I am using those situations to cause myself sorrow. And you might say, well, how does that work? That works in this way, I feel, that there's already a lack of self-worth within my own self. Somebody says a word out of place or creates a situation that is detrimental to me in some way. And so what actually becomes apparent, what becomes present, is my own insecurity, my own lack of love for my own self, my own good feelings for my own self. Because of lack of all of that, someone else's activity of some sort, whether it was conscious or whether it was deliberate, that's irrelevant. My own insecurity and my own feeling of being unsafe comes to surface. And it's me trying to protect myself against feelings of sorrow. And yet, it's the very thing that causes me pain and sorrow. So situations come and yeah, sometimes people's behavior can be such that it can feel like it was targeted at me, or the interactions were not in the right way, however you might want to, however it might have happened. So you kind of feel that you feel the target of somebody else's behaviors or somebody else's ways of being. It wasn't last year, but some years back, situations occurred where I felt that a group of people had behaved in such a way that it was very painful for me. It was very difficult for me. And I spent quite a bit of time taking sorrow from that situation. And then I came to a place eventually where I thought, I've got to just let go and move on. When something else arrived in its place, I was able to let go and say, okay, I move on and I don't experience sorrow from that situation anymore. But yet I still had some feelings towards those people whom I felt were part of that situation. But as time has gone on, and so on the one hand, I decided to forgive. I decided to forgive myself, and I decided to forgive other people. But this aspect of forgetting was still not so simple and so straightforward. But I can see with time that I can forget. I am forgetting. I don't find myself in a situation where I'm constantly repeating the scenarios that happened, which I felt were unfair or not right, or whatever it is that you might want to call them. So when it comes to letting go of the past, I have to forgive. I have to forgive those people who are part of that situation, and I have to forgive myself as well. And as part of that forgiveness, realizing that when I hold on to any negative situation that's causing me pain, first and foremost, I am causing harm to myself over a long period of time. Forget about other people. They move on, they go off, Because the reality is that another very important law of nature is change. Nothing ever remains the same. The only place where something remains the same is here, in my own heart and in my own mind. As it keeps remaining the same, it becomes reinforced. And so when you understand that the law of nature is change, I was talking to a very close relative of mine today, and he's going through difficult situations in his life, and he's kind of, I've got this wrong, and I've got that going on that's not right, and I've got that's difficult, I've got that's difficult. And I found myself saying to him that, okay, all of these things are there, but if you keep going on about it, and if you keep perceiving only that, then your heart shrinks. What you're gonna have to do is accept that life offers whatever it offers for very good reasons, often, actually. Again, how can I look at myself? How can I reform my own self so that in those situations I can still maintain my own internal state of happiness? Because, when you look around you and you see so much uncertainty in the world, so much pain and sorrow and suffering, so much that's happening that's completely out of our control. And when we feel that when everything goes the way I like it, or it works for me, or is comfortable for me, then I'm happy, then I'm making myself out to suffer constantly. So I was saying to this person that, there's this saying, if life offers you lemons, make lemonade. It's a little bit like that. If something comes, how can I say, well, okay, what can I learn and grow from? How can I learn and grow from this? And also I was saying to him that actually, because of life is a change, yesterday everything was fine, today it's not okay, and tomorrow it'll be okay again. But can I maintain my internal state of consistency and stability? Janet, do you mind closing your camera, please? Because it's very distracting. Thank you. So it sounds like it's being philosophical. It is being philosophical, but it's also using wisdom and understanding. Part of spiritual life is that we allow ourselves to become we allow ourselves to be empowered through understanding, through wisdom, through knowledge. And so when things like this happen to us, whether it's in the past or whether it's in the present or even the future, because what people tend to do is people worry about the future. What's going to happen? How am I going to deal with this? How am I going to deal with that? The situation hasn't actually occurred. But the principle is exactly the same. The principle of the past, remaining in the past, is the same as being locked in a certain headspace and certain way of being. So here in the Brahma Kumaris, we have the understanding of ourselves as souls, as spiritual beings, this conscient, living, thinking energy. So I am this energy of light, this energy of peace, this energy of truth and joy. And I'm deliberately using this word energy here, because what my sense is that when I forget that, and when I hold on to this aspect of myself as this limited human being, and therefore make my consciousness limited, then my consciousness is based on the physical aspects of life. And everything that's physical is limited. It's going to change. It changes from new to old. It changes from being efficient to inefficient. It changes from being beautiful to ugly. It changes in all sorts of ways. And if my consciousness is based on that, then the same happens to my consciousness. So this spiritual, subtle consciousness allows me to see beyond the physical. And that means that I'm not caught up in just what's on the surface. We have this notion about everything that happens is perfect. Everything that happens in life is just the right thing at the right time. And because it's the right thing, the right time, I stay open to what comes my way. I stay open to look at my own self as well. Love becomes the gift of love for one's own self becomes a very powerful thing too, for letting go of the things of the past. You know, I've learned some very powerful lessons from our senior teachers at the Brahma Kumaris. Because, you know, when people do bad things or wrong things, let's put it that way, or when people do things that have caused sorrow to themselves and sorrow to others, they only want to let go. But if I get caught up in reminding them of the things that have done wrong, then I'm just as party to their suffering as they are. I remember asking our administrative head, Tadi Prakashmani, one day I'd seen her engage with someone about something they had done that was quite damaging for other people. So she was kind of guiding that person, and she was quite strong, the way in which she was explaining to him that this was quite damaging and that it's not good that he was party to that. Anyway, she was very strong that particular day, and I saw her again with that same person a few days later, and it was as if nothing had happened. She was meeting him as if nothing had happened. She didn't hold it against him. She didn't kind of go, well, you know, you know how it is, how we get upset with people when they do things that are not right. And then I remember spending time with her, and I asked her, I said, Daddy, how do you do that? When somebody has behaved badly, how do you just not hold it against them? She said, what should I do? Here's that person wanting to let go of that, and I'm going to remind them that they did that wrong through my behavior with them. Imagine how big and generous your heart must be when somebody else is doing something that is not very nice, if you like. And, you know, it's so important to keep your own self very clean. One of the important aspects of life is to keep yourself clean, knowing this principle that everything is always changing. You know, when unpleasant things happen and we harbor those unpleasant things inside our minds and our hearts, then our feelings also become dark and heavy and painful. And when anybody comes in contact with us, it's the same thing. It's the same heavy, negative feelings and words that emerge from our minds and our hearts and through our mouths. So I was, you know, so I have this analogy that I think is very helpful. If you had a pond of water, pond of stagnant water that didn't have fresh water coming in all the time, what happens to a stagnant pond of water? It becomes dirty, it becomes slimy, it harbors insects, bacteria, or it's just bad odor. Do you want to go to that place and be there and enjoy that? No, you don't. If you had a stream of clean water that's flowing, sun is shining on it, and you can see, because the water is flowing, it's clean, it's clear, it's moving, and it's not harboring anything inside. So how do I want my heart to be? Like a stagnant pond of water? Or would I like my heart to be like a stream of clean water? What would happen What would my energy be like when I'm like this stream of clean water? Lightness, brightness, happiness, no matter what might be happening. And anybody comes in front of me, what will I do? I will share that of myself with them. I won't be hanging on to anything. I'm just moving on. And then people want to be with me. People want to share with me. People say, oh, let me go and talk to so-and-so. They'll always cheer me up. But if I'm sitting there regurgitating the stuff of the past, then nobody wants to be with me. Equally, an example that I like very much is that if you're watching a slideshow, or if you're even watching a movie, the projector nowadays, I mean, even if you still have a projector, your screens even, if you project something on a screen, the screen has to be clean. And when the screen is clean, then you can see the image very clearly and enjoy it. Even if you're watching a slideshow of nature and beauty, one slide has to fade out. And when it's faded out completely, then you project the next slide. And you enjoy watching the slideshow. But if you project one slide on top of another, what will happen? It will be a big blur and you won't be able to enjoy anything. And if you think about your own mind and your consciousness, if it's just one blur after another, one memory after another that I'm constantly just overlapping one after another, then I feel bombarded by life. I feel bombarded by experiences. So that's why in order to keep moving on and letting go, I have to wipe my slate of consciousness clean. As often as I can, one thing's moved on, the next thing is coming. This is something that Tari Janki I observed do very well. Again, another one of our administrative heads, where she would literally, you felt one person, she's talking to someone, one person has talked to her and she's guiding and teaching. They move, and in seconds, she would go inside herself. That person's gone now, finished. Here's the next person in front of her. That scene has finished now. And it's another scene now. Let me be present with this scene. If I carry bad feelings of the previous scene into this scene or with this person, my responses and reactions will be on that basis. So she gave herself this time, even if it was seconds. It literally was only seconds. It's not that she went and locked herself in her room so that she can clean her consciousness. No, it was seconds. Deep breath, go inside and move on. Next, 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 and next. Imagine if you lived your life like that, what would happen? You'll be able to keep yourself clean and be in the present. You know, there's big thing in the spiritual domain about be in the present, be in the present, be in the present. So it's not just about at this moment in time. Be in the present, in your mind, your thoughts, your words, your consciousness, your memories, everything, everything. And these are practices that we can introduce on a daily basis. Practice of meditation, practice of silence, practice of reflection. Every day, in the morning, in the evening, as many times in the day as you possibly can. Introducing those moments. Let's have one of those moments now, because I feel like I've been talking for too long already. Just sit comfortably and relaxed and present. Close your eyes if that helps you concentrate. I won't ask you to keep your eyes open anyway, because your screens are, well, at least I can't see you, most of you. Notice your breath. You've been listening for the last 40 minutes, something like that. What are the feelings that has emerged inside you as a result of those last 40 minutes? What's the feeling now? Inspiration, encouragement, enthusiasm, and as you breathe, notice this feelings that you have right now. I'm going to do this. I don't want to experience sorrow anymore. I don't want to live in the past anymore. I want to live here and now, in this pure, clean space inside myself and also around me. As I practice silence, as I practice this awareness of myself, of being this pure, unconditional energy, I feel my strength returning. I feel quiet. I feel clean, as I'm not preoccupied with many, many thoughts. And it is in this space, in this quietness, in this cleanliness, that I can choose what thoughts I want, what I want to create for myself in the future, or how I want to respond to what's in front of me. I choose the response of peace. I choose the response of patience. I choose the response of generosity. Then I am in charge of my life. Life is not in charge of me. I'm able to create space for myself, a space of peace. But I'm also able to practice deeper spiritual awareness of myself as this pure, unconditional spiritual energy, concentrated in a tiny point of light. And I also become aware of my eternal guide, my spiritual parent, the divine, the supreme being. The one that washes my consciousness clean with the power of pure peace and pure unconditional love. At this moment, as I feel the stillness, as I feel the peace present in this energy, I take a deep breath. I keep observing my breath and allow these qualities to also be present within my physical being, replacing the heaviness that's been sitting there for a very long time. I feel myself, my mind, my body become so light. It's as if I'm almost translucent. And actually nothing external matters at this moment, because I'm here and I empower myself to be still and stable, so that when I do find myself in situations, I respond from that place. That place of lightness and trust. All will be well. If not today, then tomorrow. If not tomorrow, the day after. Because ultimately, the nature of the human spirit, the nature of the universe, the nature of divine presence is benevolence. And it holds this entire universe in the arms of benevolence. Let me trust that. Let me be held by the benevolence of the divine. Om Shanti. So if anybody wants to ask any question, you can come directly to put your questions in the chat and I'll be happy to read them out and attempt to answer if you have anything. It's probably best to do it like that. How does a person deal with their conscience when they have hurt someone deeply and the person is now in pain from the hurt? So it's an amazing question. It's the fact that you're asking this question in itself means that there is remorse for having caused pain. And I think that that's all you can do. Reach out to the other person. If your conscience really feels that you might have caused harm to someone, apologize, send love and good wishes, and reach out to make amends. But it's their prerogative whether they're going to accept that in that moment. It might take them time to accept it. But the fact that you reach out, conscience is one thing. The conscience has actually allowed you to see that you did something. So that's great. But if you want to deal with your conscience, do something about it. Reach out to that person, apologize, and attempt to make amends with them. And if they're not willing to make amends at that time, it's okay. You can't expect anything in that moment. There will come a time when they will, but you just have to keep sending love, loving vibration, and forgive yourself at that time, because you've obviously realized that you caused harm. And that realization means that you actually are willing to look at yourself and you ensure that you don't do it again. That would be the best way that your conscience will release you. Okay, anyone else? 1 minute. How can you deal with people in a fair way if you feel disrespected by their behavior? You know, something that I kind of realized after a long time, the person and their behavior are two different things. Often people can't help their behavior because of their own past experiences. Can I like see the person separate from their behavior? And yeah, their behavior has made you feel disrespected, but then you have to see that they didn't deliberately say, I disrespect you. Their behavior has. So just see that, see their intention. Perhaps it's just a set of personality traits that they have, they can't let go of. So you have to kind of say, if it's possible, to address and say, look, you know, I know you may not have meant well, but you saying this or doing this, I felt disrespected. And that gives you an opportunity to separate your own self from your own feelings. And then you give an opportunity to that person to perhaps change as well. How do I feel? Hang on a minute, I need to go back. How do I deal with the passing of my son, October 21, and my mother, November? Well, I think this is what we've been talking about. Law of life. Life, birth, death is part of life, and it's inevitable. And yes, one can understand the sorrow and the pain, but knowing that that's life. So preparing yourself before those situations occur is a better solution. But even when it does happen, then how can I create this internal sense of peace and joy and love so that I can actually say farewell, be grateful to them for the life that they've offered me or what they've shared with me until now. And now it's time for them to move on, go somewhere else and do something else. It sounds very philosophical, and it's not that I mean to be unsympathetic, but it's life. It's the same thing that I was saying at the beginning. Life happens to everyone and it's inevitable and we all know it. And yet, how is it that we don't prepare for life to happen? We have to prepare, appreciate, value what they brought and use all the good things that they brought you, and then release them, let them go. Can we say until we learn the lesson from the event, it will come back again? Yeah, I'm afraid so. If I don't learn the lesson, then I will find myself in the same situation again and again and again. So when something goes wrong, if I'm hanging on to it, I'm hanging on to the pain, then it means I'm not seeing myself. Sometimes it's just about me being quiet, me shutting up, me being patient, me just being tolerant. It's simple as that. Sometimes it's just me being accepting. That's all it is. And once I do that, I will have moved on.